is the president of the Boston Red Sox, Sam Kennedy, who joins us this morning. Hey, Sam.
Good morning, guys. Greetings from Dallas. How are you?
We're doing great, and you'll probably say every season, but when it comes to anticipation and expectation with what happened in the offseason, where do you rank heading into today during the time you've been here?
Well, there's probably recency bias, but I don't remember as much anticipation and excitement for a while. It's been a really, really long off season, very productive one. We had a team event last night. We were just talking about how ready everyone is to go, and can't wait to get to the ballpark today.
Sam, obviously everybody very excited about Garrett Crochet, and I know you've said to other media outlets that you're not going to talk about negotiations for extensions leading into the season. But when you look at your pitching rotation, and you've got him obviously, but then you've got Buehler, who has his first year back from a second Tommy John, and then you have three starters that are starting on IR. You guys have dealt with bad injuries the last two seasons, and that's kind of been the fall off for you. Is there an emphasis going into this season to make sure that history isn't repeating itself, that you guys have people healthy? And what are some of the things that you are making sure that your players are doing to keep everyone healthy?
Yeah, it's the most important part of the game is health and availability, and everybody deals with injuries, so we can't use that as an excuse. It has plagued us over the last couple of years. We're really glad Garrett's ready to take the ball today, and he's going to anchor, we hope, a rotation that is built to last throughout the course of the year. But we did make a lot of moves in this offseason in terms internal and external, so we hope that we have more depth, both in the starting pitching rotation, but also in the bullpen. But it is a challenge that our medical and training staff work on tirelessly to make sure everybody can go out and take the ball when we need them.
I wasn't clear from his statement. Did he specifically say, "Hey, once opening day gets here, don't want to talk about a new deal," or is it something that you guys can have an ongoing discussion about?
You know, there's not going to discuss any negotiations that are happening in private or discussions. There's no baseball MLB rule or deadline, but we will follow Garrett's lead in terms of the desire to have conversations, given the nature where he's here. He's like I said, anchoring our rotation, and any discussions about what happens 2-3 years from now, we'll keep private.
Alex Cora on this radio station yesterday afternoon talked about Rafael Devers and accepting that he's going to DH for this team. We all got to hear his passion about playing third base. How involved and even difficult was it to get him to kind of come to terms with what Alex Cora thought should be his role?
You know, he's doing exactly what you would want him to do, which is doing what's best for the team. And he's, as I've said a few times, he's the only guy in that clubhouse wearing a uniform as a player that's got that World Series ring on his shelf. So he's a championship caliber player. He's the cornerstone of our franchise. He's invested in winning as much as anybody else, and he's going to contribute however he can to our plans. You definitely want players that want to be where they want to be on the field. But in the end, Rafi understands the conversations that he's had with Alex. We've left it to those two guys. That's the right level to have those conversations. And he's ready to go and excited for opening day, just like the rest of us.
Sam, I know you don't get into specific with players in their contract, but what's it like to balance knowing that, you know, just any player, but knowing that you have somebody who could be really, really good in the future, that you might be trying to figure out what their deal is going to be worth then, and trying to get something done now because maybe the money's going to be a little bit different? Like, what's that like from the front office perspective to know that we're trying to get something done now with a specific player, but that price tag might go up? Even though it's a good thing, it might go up a lot more than we expect.
Yeah, it's a great question, Wiggy, because the hardest thing in professional sports is to balance those two sort of misaligned things, which are near term and long term. And our responsibility in the ownership group and in the front office is to be doing everything we can to win now, win today's game, here this afternoon in Dallas, and also win in 2030, 2032 and beyond. So you're always trying to balance the near term with the long term, and it's really, really difficult and challenging. And if you look back over, this will be my 24th opening day with the Red Sox, we've had lots of ups and downs, and I think that's representative of where you've had some great near-term success and then near-term failures. It goes with the territory. But what we try to do is balance both each and every day as we're addressing our roster to make sure we've got the perfect balance, as Red Sox fans know, are young homegrown players that come up through the organization and can ultimately contribute at the big league level. International signings, we've had a lot of success in that area. And then big free agent signings. And so that combination is really the ingredients that you want for championship baseball. And hopefully we'll get there this year and in 2025, but also beyond.
Sam, I'm not sure. You said you're in Texas, so unlikely you were listening before you came on, but we were all accused of being Red Sox honks and apologists. So I just hope if you missed it, if you missed it,
hold on. The world is turning in a different direction on its axis. Red Sox apologists on WEEI. You got to be kidding me. Who said that?
It's a wild world.
You guys read too much social media. You read too much social media. I'd advise you guys to get off social media.
It would be great for all of our health.
Guy Chad felt like I was not hard enough on Will Middlebrooks for the construction of this team over the last 4 years.
It was all his fault. Sam, we spoke all last year, and prior to last year, we discussed the roster construction and everything. And you had mentioned that it's a break-even business, the baseball component of it. And Forbes has a list that came out, I think, yesterday, with the valuations of the franchises. The Red Sox just under $5 billion as the third most valuable franchise in Major League Baseball. And they note that the operating income of the Boston Red Sox was $120 million last year, which put the Red Sox as the best, most profitable in Major League Baseball. Is that number accurate? And what does that signify to you?
I can assure you that number is inaccurate, number one. Number two, I can assure you of that. But it wouldn't serve the Boston Red Sox or me well to get into a debate or a discussion publicly about our finances. Here's what I'll tell you. This ownership group has consistently demonstrated a willingness to invest in all areas of the franchise, from preserving and protecting Fenway Park, to investing in player payroll, to investing in minor leagues, our minor league affiliates, our spring training affiliates. The resources have not been a problem. Have we made mistakes in terms of where we've invested in the past? Yeah, of course we have. But really excited about where we are for 2025. And I think our fans care about who's putting on the uniforms today and going out there versus the business side of the game. So I'll leave it at that.
First season in a long time that there will be baseball on the radio and on the Odyssey app without Joe Castiglione. But we just had Will Middlebrooks on, and so it's going to be Will Fleming and Will Middlebrooks, and I think we can share Lou Merlone doing some games and Sean McDonough, right, Sam?
Yeah, that's right. I think we'll probably have the only name that was left out. I think we'll probably have Mike Monaco doing some games as well. 162 is a grind, and there's only one Joe Castiglione, so it takes 6 or 7 guys to fill his shoes. We all know that.
Let me clean up, if I could, Curtis, to use an apropos analogy on a couple things from last year. Still no spicy mustard, and I don't know. I don't know if what's the deal on that?
We got to get Greg. Let's call Troop together after this call. We'll get on that.
Okay, all right. What about the Curtis first pitch?
God,
are we shut out on that, or can we try to make that happen this season?
Definitely shut out on that. Definitely shut out on that.
Unbelievable.
People tell me I have to be better at saying no. So the answer is that's a hard no.
And just to clear up the Cocoa Bomb, was there any interest at any time from you, Sam Kennedy, in buying the Boston Celtics? That was a Cocoa Bomb at one point.
We are focused on the Boston Red Sox. Excited about Bill Chisholm. I'll just say it's a small world. There's a lot of connections to Bill. I think Celtics fans are going to love this guy. It's exciting. Think about a homegrown kid who grew up here loving the Celtics, and now he's going to eventually be the owner of the team. I actually spoke to Wick the other day. He gave me a little bit more background on him. It's really exciting and fantastic. What a great job Wick has done in terms of the championships. And we've been involved with the Red Sox as long as Wick has been involved with the Celtics. And Wick's been such a great part of this era in Boston sports. And he was really focused on getting it in the right hands, and it sounds like he has. So that's really exciting for Celtics fans.
Sam, not numbers-wise in terms of profit or loss, but it has felt for us since being down in Fort Myers that there has been a renewed interest in the team after the offseason. Have you noticed that in ticket sales as a general rule?
Yeah, there's been a hugely positive reaction. I think anytime you add two top-of-the-rotation starters and Gold Glove caliber player in Alex Bregman, a lot of interest and excitement. But, Chris, on a serious note, you know as much about the Red Sox as anybody. I do think there's also a reaction to this young core group of guys who, Christian's going to be in the lineup today, which is amazing just to think about that. Last year was his first camp. And before that he was at Georgia Tech, and I think he played at Georgia Tech for exactly 1 year. It's pretty extraordinary. And there's nothing like young homegrown players to get our fans excited. So there's a lot of excitement around the short-term prospects for the Sox, which is just great.
Sam, when you look at this team, I think over the past couple of years, you guys seem like you're always top 10, top 5 in most major hitting categories. It's been the rotation. You talked about adding some of these pieces. How involved has Craig Breslow been, and just the coaching staff when it comes to pitching, and the excitement around the pieces that you added and what this rotation could potentially do this year, especially when you get some key guys back from injuries?
Yeah, look, huge credit to Brez, who one of the first things he did is went out and convinced Andrew Bailey to stay away from the New York Yankees and get him to the Red Sox. Andrew's a New Yorker, and that's was his hometown team, and getting him here was a huge thing for us. He's done a great job revamping our entire pitching program from all the way down in rookie ball up through the big leagues, taking a player development focus that doesn't stop when guys get to Fenway Park, and continuing that growth and development. Andrew has led that effort. He's done a great job. And Brez, if there's anything this guy knows, it's pitching. Literally willed himself to become a major league pitcher. When you look at Brez, he doesn't exactly look like a big leaguer. And this guy made himself a quality major league reliever, played for 13 years. That was something we, frankly, for forever in our time in Boston, we've not had a great track record of drafting, developing, pitching, and that's something that we're working really hard on. And we have a long way to go, but there's a lot of good signs in camp and throughout the minor leagues on that front. So excited to see what comes through the farm.
Well, it is exciting, Sam. Thanks for taking the time on opening day, and we will talk to you again throughout the season, but go get them.
Look forward to it, guys. Thanks so much. Enjoy today.
All right, that is Sam Kennedy.